So, ayan, another video naman natin is about sa part 2 ng activity number 4 natin. Prelim pa rin to pero part 2 siya. Activity number 4 which is yung expanded leap year natin na checker na script. So, yung goal ng program naman na to is mag-a-accept siya ng year galing sa user. And determine niya if yung leap year ba is based dun sa complex Gregorian calendar rules. So, start tayo dun sa line 1. Yung script na to, tinatakad yung mga classic na problem sa pag-identify ng leap year. So, una is kailangan natin ng year itself. So, gumamit tayo ng input para mag-get yung year sa user. And immediately, convert natin to sa integer using int. So, since yung year, palaging whole number siya. So, dito naman sa line 3, yung naka-contain dito is yung famous leap year rule as a single powerful Boolean expression. So, yung year na to is leap year. So, sinasatisfy natin yung isa sa mga dalawang condition natin na nakalink by or operator. So, sa baba naman nun, na-highlight natin yung first condition na kung saan yung year must be divisible by 4. So, year, tawag dito, year 4 and then and 0. So, it must not be divisible by 100. So, yung year na to. So, yung year, dito naman, kino-cover na to mostly yung sa standard leap natin na year. So, like 2024. Sa second part naman is not divisible by 100. So, exception niya is yung mga century years. So, sa baba naman nun is yung sa second main condition natin kung saan in-handle natin yung exception to exception. So, if ang year is divisible by 100, so it is only a leap year. Kung saan also divisible by 400. So, year and 400 equal by 0. And then, so, dito naman kung bakit yung year 2000 natin was a leap year. Pero yung year 1900 natin is hindi. So, kung nagigets nyo, basta yan. So, dito naman sa statement na to, sa baba, yung if natin, kinakombine natin yung condition kung saan yung complex rule na name-met. So, ini-execute dito yung if block and print na leap year. So, kung yung rule is hindi name-met, yung program natin is magfa-fails. Magfa-false sa else block. So, piniprint dito yung not leap year. So, kino-cover lahat natin yung scenario. So, ayun. Makita nyo, nag-enter tayo ng year 400 leap year. Enter year 100 not leap year. So, ayun yung example niya. So, going next naman natin na activity is yung hello ulit. Ito naman yung sa activity 5 natin, which is yung triangle type identifier. So, may bad if nagkamali ako kanina. So, ito yung activity na yun. So, yung goal ng program na to is mag-accept siya ng tatlong numbers para ma-identify yung pinakamalaki sa kanila. And then, determine niya if yung largest number ba is even or odd. So, start tayo sa line 1. So, yung goal dito is ma-process and ma-classify natin yung numerical data. So, next-start tayo by prompting the user for 3 numbers. So, ini-store natin sila in variables. So, num1, num2, num3. And then, gumamit tayo ng float. And then, sa lahat ng inputs natin, ini-ensure natin yung script na kayang i-handle yung both whole numbers and numbers with decimal components. So, ito naman sa line 5, mina-highlights dito yung sa linya na to is highly efficient. So, gumamit tayo ng Python's built-in max dito, function, para mapabilis natin yung pag-determine ng largest value among the 3 variables na pinrovide natin. So, yung result is nag-immediately assigned to the variable. So, that yung largest. So, isa tong shortcut kung saan ina-avoid natin yung multiple if and if comparison statements. So, sa line 6 naman natin, and then we immediately print yung result using the print function. So, in-include natin yung label dito sa largest number followed by the value of the largest variable. And then, in-ensure natin yung user makapag-clear siya, readable feedback on which number was identified. So, sa line 7 natin, um, medyo sophisticated use ng ternary operator. Kung saan yung concise way para mag-write tayo ng isang simple na if-else statement. So, yung expression dito is binabasa na as print even if the condition then largest 2 then so on 0 is true, else print and then odd siya. So, yung condition itself natin is gumagamit siya ng module operator kung saan nire-represent ng percent sign and then expression na largest percent sign 2 kung saan kinakalculate yung remainder natin as the largest and then dinidivide siya by 2. So, if yung remainder natin is 0, yung number natin is perfectly divisible by 2 and then therefore even. So, if the remainder is 1, then it is odd. So, ito yung example natin sa terminal. And their first number, 90, 50, 78. Layers number, 90.0. And then even. Ayan. Yan siya. Ganun lang siya dali. So, yung next naman natin is yung leap year. Tama ba leap year? Tama. Leap year yung last natin. Hindi. Yung main pala, yung main. But, dito na tayo sa last part ng code natin sa prelim, which is yung activity number 6, yung main natin. So, yung goal naman dito is didetermine natin yung tatlong given na lengths kung saan fina-form yung valid triangle and then kinaklasify natin as equilateral or isosceles or scalene. Scalene. My bad. And then, so ayun, start tayo. So, dito naman sa line natin na to, sa first line dito. Yung script na to, isa siyang great example sa paggamit ng conditional logic natin sa pag-solve ng geometric problem. So, nag-start tayo by getting the lengths ng tatlong side, which is yung A, B, and C. So, gumamit tayo ng float. So, para sa tatlong inputs, as silence, so certainly, in-include natin dito yung decimal values. So, ini-ensure natin yung precision ng ating calculation. So, sa line 5 naman natin, kinaunting dito yung fundamental check known as the triangle inequality theorem. So, para sa kahit anong tatlong lengths, para mag-form ng valid triangle. So, the sum ng tatlong, kahit anong dalawang side, must be greater than the third side. So, yung condition natin dito is ina-ensure natin yung A plus B greater than C, and then A plus C greater than B, and B plus C greater than A. So, kahit ano dito na condition na to are false, kung yung code natin is mag-jump sa final else natin statement. So, magpiprint siya ng not a valid triangle. So, sa line 6 naman natin, if yung side natin is nag-form ng valid triangle, so magpo-proceed tayo para maklasify natin siya. So, yung first check natin is yung sa equilateral triangle. So, dito naman is yung simplest classification kung saan nag-require ng tatlong side para maging equal, or A and B, and A and C. So, dito naman sa condition na to is dapat true. So, alam natin yung tatlong angles are also equal at 60 degrees each. So, sa line 7, 8, 9 naman natin. So, if hindi siya equilateral, gagamit tayo ng elif or else if statement. So, dito naman check natin yung isosceles triangle. Kung saan require yung at least kahit dalawang side para maging equal. So, yung condition dito is yung A equals B or A equals C and or B and C. Kino-cover naman lahat ng possibilities sa dalawang or mas marami pang side na nag-match. So, ipiprint naman natin is yung isosceles. And then, finally, we have yung pinaka-last else block. So, if yung side dito is pass validity ng test natin but hindi siya nag-meet ng condition para sa equilateral or isosceles. So, they must be all different. So, itong last else block natin na automatically catches niya yung scaling case kung saan piniprint niya yung scaling before the script concludes. So, example is yung ito. Second silent 20, third silent 50. So, means not a valid triangle. So, another one. First silent 80, second silent 50, third silent 40. Means scaling siya. So, ayun yung example. So, ayun lang lahat. Thank you sa pananood and ayan, thank you. Thank you.